start this off, I'm going to something which was a long time ago trend. A draw my life video. Now, as all life starts off, I was born as a baby. So there's baby me. Where I was born, I'm not entirely sure, but it was very, very cold. It was winter, and my parents didn't quite expect me. Well, they expected a child, but not a girl, which in their eyes was a blessing. Why? Because our kingdom's a monarchy, which meant that having a daughter was very, very, very important. Now, a few years later, when I was a child, I ended up doing a lot of silly things. I laughed. I loved to play games, but more than anything, I was a bookworm. I loved my books. Now, my father wanted me to be more outgoing and to go outside, not be a bookworm. That's when the difficulties arose, because my little baby brother was born, and he was much better at being a leader than I was. I even imagined that he could do a lot more. It was a lot of pressure, and when I turned 18, things changed for the worst. I wasn't social. I basically locked myself inside of a room just to read all the time, and I was obsessed with my magical little screen to read off of. Now, my father was very unhappy with this, and one day he came to me and he said, "Reen, you need to step up. What happens if your mother and I died?" I couldn't rule, and well, he was right. But that's when I had an idea. What if my brother were to rule over the kingdom, and not me? I could just sit and look pretty. He'd have all the responsibility. My father hated the idea. My brother, well, he loved it. And that's when I turned 20, and I made a dumb decision to run away from home. Now, why I did that? It was dumb. But I ran all throughout the forest, and I got lost. And that's when I came across a river with a magical talking fish, who looked at me and said in a deep voice, "Follow." And I did. I don't know why, but I did. And it was very weird and very out of character for me. Because, well, I was going on an adventure, basically. But I hopped out of this magical river, and everything was different. All these people were looking at me and calling me a monster. All because I didn't look like, well, them. So I locked myself indoors. I tried going back home and it didn't work. And I somehow managed to hide some of my special traits. I then found something called the internet and a computer, and it was amazing. Why? Because I could talk to all these different people on different parts of this world, and they didn't see me. I would think back sometimes about how I used to almost be a queen or a princess, and then also how people in this world called me a monster. And I had an idea. What if I changed this and used this newfound fun I had to do something called streaming? I grew up watching people do it a little bit since I came in this world, so maybe I can. And I wanted to. But I'm me. And the only way for me to actually do this right is probably if I show myself to all of you guys out there. So maybe I can stream. Maybe I can make a few friends. So drop by, test the sky, and maybe see me in action. So thank you all for watching, and this is Renara. I look forward to meeting you all.